In the last video, we were at rock bottom. Our home was overrun, our marriage was disappearing, and my husband Marky whispered the 6 words that changed everything. It doesn't feel like our home anymore. That night, sitting in the silence of our car, we knew we had to do something drastic or lose each other for good. This is what we did next. The drastic change. That night in the car was the beginning of the end of life as we knew it. We talked for hours, not with anger, but with this shared, desperate sadness. We cried for the years we had already lost to resentment and misunderstandings. We finally said the things we had been too afraid to admit aloud. This was not working, we were both miserable, and if something did not give up, our marriage would not survive. Choosing to save our marriage meant choosing us, and honestly, that was terrifying. It felt selfish and radical. The decision we landed on felt both insane and completely necessary. It was the only move we had left. We decided to move. Not across town, or to the next county. Far away. Hundreds of miles away, to a state where we knew absolutely no one. The goal was to create so much physical distance that surprise visits were impossible and dropping by, just to help, was not an option. We just needed a clean break, a silent canvas to figure out who we were without the constant noise of everyone else's needs and opinions. Telling his family was one of the hardest things Marky ever had to do. I was right there beside him, holding his hand so tightly my knuckles were white, but the words had to come from him. The news was met with a tidal wave of disbelief, anger, and guilt trips. His mother accused him of being selfish and cruel, her eyes shooting daggers at me as if I were the puppet master pulling his strings. His sister said he was abandoning them, especially his father. They saw it as a personal rejection, a selfish act of cruelty, not an act of survival for our marriage. They could not understand that setting a boundary is not about pushing people away, it is about creating a healthy space for yourself to exist. The fights were brutal, and the emotional extortion was relentless. There were days when the guilt was so heavy I could barely breathe, and we must have second-guessed our decision 100 times. But every time I looked at Marky, I saw that flicker of hope in his eyes, and it reminded me of what we were fighting for. We held on, a united front, and we packed our boxes. Before I tell you what happened next, I have to ask, have you ever felt trapped by family expectations? Or felt like your own needs were being ignored just to keep the peace? Let me know your story in the comments. And if this is hitting home for you, please think about subscribing. It is a way of reminding each other that we are not alone in these struggles. Discovering joy. The first week in our new, empty apartment was deafeningly quiet. For years, our life had been a constant barrage of noise, the TV blaring, phones ringing, people talking over each other. Now, there was just silence. And at first, it was honestly unnerving. I kept expecting someone to walk through the door unannounced. But slowly, day by day, that anxiety started to morph into something else entirely: peace. For the first time in our marriage, we were truly alone. And in that quiet, we started to find each other again. We had to rely completely on one another, and it forged our bond in a way that the previous years never could. We started going on dates again. We took long walks, holding hands, talking for hours without the fear of being interrupted. We cooked dinner together, laughing as we tried to figure out our new, tiny kitchen. I will never forget the simple, profound joy of locking our front door at night, knowing with absolute certainty that the space on the other side was ours and ours alone. And that is when we started finding joy in the most unexpected places. It was not in big, grand gestures. It was in the small, intimate moments our old life was too crowded and chaotic for. The warmth of the sun on my face while we had coffee on our tiny balcony in the morning. A shared, knowing smile over a silly TV show. The simple, sacred act of being truly present with each other without any distractions. We made a conscious choice to look for the good. We started a gratitude journal, just a simple notebook where we wrote down 3 things we were thankful for each day. Some days it was something big, like a breakthrough in our communication. But most days, it was as simple as the perfect cup of tea, or hearing Marky laugh from the other room. This little ritual was transformative. It helped shift our focus from what we had lost to the abundance of what we were gaining. It was like our own daily, joy scavenger hunt, and do you know what? Our relationship with his family started to change, too. The distance forced a new, healthier dynamic. Phone calls became intentional, scheduled times to connect. Visits became planned events that we could prepare for and, more importantly, that had a clear end date. The thick, choking resentment I had carried for years started to fade, replaced by a more balanced, healthier love. The space let us appreciate each other more because our time together was finally a choice, not a suffocating obligation. Looking back at the drastic change, it was not about moving hundreds of miles away. The real change was our decision to build a boundary around our marriage boundary that said, we come first. It was about giving ourselves permission to prioritize our own peace. We might have had to physically move to learn that lesson, but the real journey was internal. We learned that joy is not something you have to go out and find. It is there all along, buried under years of obligation, resentment, and other people's needs. It is hiding in the quiet moments, in shared laughter, in the simple security of your own home. You just have to clear away all the noise so you can finally see it. If you feel like you are suffocating, if you feel like your joy is lost, please know you are not alone. And it is never, ever selfish to protect your peace. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for everyone is to first love and protect the life you are trying to build for yourself. Your joy is there. You just have to give it some room to breathe. If you enjoyed listening to this video, subscribe for more motivational videos like this one.